So, box office for December 8th. Um, we've thoroughly, by this point, beaten Wish and the Marvels into the ground.
Yes.
Interestingly enough, despite Disney saying that they weren't going to report Marvel's box office anymore, there is still box office being reported for the Marvels, which my operating hypothesis is that it just means they aren't providing guidance or they're just, so this might be coming from whatever sources track these numbers.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure that the theaters are telling on them.
Yep. But as far as interesting things in the top 10, no, Die Hard actually looks like Die Hard had a special screening last weekend.
And hey, D Rhino, good to see you.
Yes, yes, we are. Care to elaborate what that's in reference to?
Yeah.
I have to narrow it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's hear. The Shift is continuing to perform kind of at indie movie levels, which it makes sense because it is an indie movie.
Yeah.
Um, Major new release this weekend was Waitress, the musical,
They made
which,
that into a musical? Wow.
yes, because why not?
Jeez.
I have never seen that movie. I don't really know what that movie is.
I vaguely know of it. It was with Kerry Russell and the guy from Firefly. Um, who's playing Green? I think he's playing Guy Gardner in the new Superman.
Oh, Fillion.
Killian, yeah. And actually, the woman who wrote and directed the movie ended up getting ended not long after that movie came out.
Oh,
It was pretty famous murder case.
hmm.
Her name, but yeah. But anyway,
Well,
yeah,
uh,
which might add to some of the mystique of the story.
I don't really have a response to that.
Yeah, I guess.
$3 million opening. I guess it depends on actually the way the lighting looks on this poster. Is this just a recording of a stage production?
It might be.
Because if it's just a recording of a stage production, then that's not a terrible outcome, really.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you're spending a whole lot on special effects or sets. You already have the stage and everything ready to go.
Right. Yeah. It's sort of like what Disney Plus did with Hamilton. Just
Yep.
yeah.
Let's see. Napoleon is kind of oofing its way around. It
Yeah.
had a decent Thanksgiving, probably because it was the only adult movie on offer aside from Hunger Games.
Yeah. And I don't think that movie is getting very positive word of mouth.
No. Um, Renaissance, 75% dip week over week. Sorry, Beyonce. Taylor Swift is the bigger phenomenon.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I was actually thinking about that. I think that's mainly because I'd say Beyonce's fan base is probably older than
Hmm.
Taylor Swift's, and her fan base is probably like, I don't want to go to a movie theater to watch a Beyonce concert. I'd rather just go to a Beyonce concert.
Right. Yeah, it's like in theory, if you're a Beyonce fan, you're in the age bracket where you might have the income to scrape together to get a Beyonce ticket.
Yeah, yeah,
I also think it's possible that there's probably considerable overlap with that,
yeah.
and so the Swifties who are also Beyonceacs, I don't know what the term is for a Beyonce fan.
I don't know what I don't know.
I'll go with Beyonceacs because it's fun to say.
Yeah,
Anyways, if you're a Swiftie and a Beyonceac, you're probably you're good for one for the season. They did come out pretty close to each other.
yeah, yeah. Then we got Trolls Band Together at 4.
Yeah, which is continuing to DreamWorks. Puss in Boots came out last year, so that
Mm,
if you just count releases this year, not a great year for them because they have. Although this is doing better than Ruby Gilman.
Yeah. Nobody saw Ruby Gillman.
No, that might even be worth when that. I have to assume that already hit streaming and nobody told me.
Probably. Yeah.
That might be worth a watch. Just for like, okay, where did this go wrong? Because I thought it looked really generic and cringe just from the trailers. I guess the rest of the world agreed with me.
Yeah. I wonder if that wasn't like a quasi pilot for a TV show.
Could be, because we know that Boss Baby has been on, gotten a bunch of Netflix specials. I think even its own TV show.
Yeah, and DreamWorks also did. They had Kung Fu Panda as a TV show, and How to
Yeah,
Train Your Dragon. Yeah,
yeah. Kind of interesting they haven't done a Trolls TV show yet, but that could just be because it's expensive to get Justin Timberlake and what's her name from
yeah,
on a recurring basis.
yeah,
Um, but 95 million, not terribly expensive, so it's like okay, it'll probably make it up on the back end.
yeah, yeah.
Um, God's the weirdest thing about this particular holiday season, just because we didn't have Dune, Marvels and Wish bombed, like
Hmm.
all the tent poles just kind of fell on their face. The one tent pole that's hanging in there a bit is Hunger Games,
Hmm.
but after a month, I want to say that its box office, like combined box office, might be lower than the opening weekend of any of the old Hunger Games movies. Let's find out
Yes.
just to embarrass it. Which again, I've heard this is an all right movie. It's just
Yeah.
let's see here. Okay, probably not for Mockingjay Part Two, just on the face of it, because
Mm.
Mockingjay Two, people had kind of lost interest by that point. Opening weekend.
102.
Okay, it's kind of embarrassing that movies that from 10 years ago are in the same general ballpark as your total gross, unadjusted for inflation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I don't know how much of that is the Rachel Ziegler effect, how much of that is people not wanting a prequel to this. It's it sounds like it's a again, it sounds like it's a good watch. It's just like it's got a lot of things in the way that would make you not want to bother.
yeah, and almost 3 hour runtime on top of that, which
Yep.
it doesn't help. Although I heard Dune 2 is going to be about that long.
Yeah, though Dune 2 is a like Dune is a sci-fi epic, so
Yeah,
that's more acceptable.
yeah, that's true.
Uh, then rounding out the top five, we've got two different Japanese productions. One, Godzilla minus one, which
Hmm.
I now have people from work who have seen it said, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know if they went because I wouldn't shut up about it the day after I went to see it, but
yeah,
I'm sure it didn't hurt.
yeah.
Then you've got the new Miyazaki film, The Boy and the Heron,
Mhm.
which did a rare feat of being okay. So it isn't the first anime production to be number one in the box office. At just off the top of my head, I know that last summer they had that Dragon Ball Super movie
Yeah,
that was number one with 22 million. Uh,
right.
its opening weekend.
Yeah, and didn't what was the movie you saw last year?
Let's see, what was the one I saw last year?
The one with the guy in the chair.
Oh, that was earlier this year.
Oh, that was this year. Okay.
That was nowhere near number one.
Oh, okay.
That was released when there were like some stronger movies around, or
Okay.
strongish movies around. I think it
Gotcha.
did get in the top 10,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean it's unusual just because you don't often see Japanese animated films hit number one in the states at the very least. It
Right.
it
Yeah.
isn't the first that I'm aware of. Actually, you know what? I want to fact check myself in real time. One sec.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's very niche.
Yeah, let's
Let's
see
see.
here. Yep,
21
yep, it
million.
was number one.
It was number one. Okay.
So my memory did not fail me.
Uh,
Um, Like from everything I've heard, this sounds like it's a Miyazaki movie. So if you know your opinion of Miyazaki movies, you can decide whether or not to attend.
Mm, yeah.
I have not opted to see it yet, partially due to a lack of time, but also partially because I'm not quite as in love with Hayao Miyazaki as the rest of the world.
Yeah, same here. Um, and D Rhino says he might see Godzilla this weekend.
Do it, man. It's fun.
Yeah. Mm,
I have a whole review if you want to see why.
yeah.
I only specify I instead of we because I was the correspondent for that one.
Yes, I haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
Daniel Parker is our underpaid and underserved Disney Plus correspondent. I'm the primary theater weeb correspondent.
Yes.
Now, as far as big movies that are coming out, Wonka had an international release already.
Mhm.
Uh, and so we've been getting a lot of reviews and opinions on it. After a pretty decent $40 million opening, I don't believe it is in China. No, it's
UK,
Mexico,
Mexico.
Spain.
Uh, oh yeah,
So yeah,
that is in China.
oh wow, barely in China.
Uh,
Which, if they get a quarter of that, yeah, they're making nothing off that.
oh yeah.
Production budget 125 million. It's kind of sad that for like a Warner Brothers movie, it's like, oh, you guys economized.
Yeah.
Um, just from the trailers I've seen, it looks very fun and whimsical.
Mm, yeah. I have no interest in seeing this. I didn't like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I'll be honest, because that movie was really forced on me when I was in school. Like
Mm.
every
Oh,
year, yeah, every year we watched that movie, and it was just like I don't want to watch this movie again. Why do I have to keep watching this? Yeah, yeah,
with that movie, it's funny. I was in the similar situation. I guess it's like every school district in the country has gone, okay, what's a movie that we can show the kids that nobody will write us angry letters about?
yeah.
And Willy Wonka makes the list. I never found that one kaleidoscopic scene in the tunnel quite as terrifying as everyone else pretends it was.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I don't know if it's just because I didn't notice the imagery or if they fast forwarded through it or they had a special school cut that didn't really have it as bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
anyway, it's from the guy who made the Paddington Bear movies. And while I have not seen them, I hear that they are delightful.
Yeah.
So I have no reason to think that this would not also be delightful.
Yeah, yeah. D Rhino agrees. He didn't think it was scary.
Okay, good. So then I'm not in the I- I'm not crazy. I think there are people online who like when they post things on social media, they try to amplify it a bit. And for
Yeah,
some people, it's a duck face and a tight outfit, or you're taking a picture in front of a car you don't own. For other people, it's pretending that things are more intense than they actually are.
yeah. Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how this goes. I don't really have a prediction for this one. Um, with as muted as the box office has been this season, I don't see it going more than 50.
Mm,
But on the other hand, what what Trolls and Hunger Games have been benefiting from is a general lack of competition. So who knows?
yeah.
Maybe something that just seems charming and fun will roll in there and stick around.
Yeah, probably. Now, did Avatar 3 get pushed back to next year?
That's a good question because I thought that the Avatar movies were supposed to. No, that's right. They were supposed to be like bi-yearly or something.
Well, I thought or yeah, I guess that's right. Or I can't remember what it was. It was like it was either Avatar 3 was supposed to be either this year or next year, and then I think like 4 and 5 were supposed to be one after the other.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea.
Yeah.
Man, remember back when we thought, man, Disney's box office dominance is assured. They're going to be able to alternate Star Wars and Avatar movies forever.
Yeah, and they got and they got Marvel too. Yeah, it was just
Yeah,
jeez.
yeah. But yeah, I guess we will find out.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, Wonka seems like, from reviews I've seen, it sounds like a reasonable time.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
uh,